We are back. Let's go, buds. We're back. Back for a nice episode 2. Hopefully, everybody's back listening. Pick up some people along the way,
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell mom. Tell grandma. We could always use more grandmas listening to the podcast. This time around, less cussing. So it's going to be grandma friendly. Less cussing. I'm going to make sure of that. I was listening to it last time and I was like, oh man, a little too much cussing in my vocabs. So less cussing this time. We're going to talk about the Yankees, how bad they are. We're going to talk about the Devils, who are even worse than the Yankees. Then we're going to do a little springing from the box, talk about Julian Edelman, Alex Smith, Alexander Holtz, Bengals unis. Talk about the Mets a little bit, just here and there. Mostly we're going to talk about the Devils getting swept. Other than that, anything,
No, this is a clean podcast, Grandma. You can listen to it in church. You could show your friends, show your priest, show your reverend, show your pastor. You know what? Even show the rabbi.
Maybe not on full volume in church, honestly.
No, that's disrespectful.
No, not completely church free. I would say that there will be cussing.
It's a PBS broadcast.
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to bring Diary of a Wimpy Kid into church, so I don't think you want to bring this podcast into church, honestly.
All right. Well, we can get it started. So we're going to do a little segment called Springing from the Box. And we're just going to give you a little quick...
Spring, sprung, whatever
Spring,
works.
sprung, summer, fall. We're going to give you a quick little rundown of just what's happened in sports as of recent before we get into...
inspired by our Big Chell guys, so...
Oh, yeah.
That's our big play back in the day when we used to play sixes. Was springing good old fighting Chad from the box.
Oh, yeah.
But
for a breakaway that maybe I'd put 5-hole if I crashed into the goalie, but that's about it.
Exactly. All right, you got the timer going?
All right, let's get her going. In 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, so we're a little late on the news, but about a week ago, Julian Edelman retired. A little bit of tongue twister on that. I kind of fucked up on it last time.
Sorry, Grandma.
Sorry, Grandma. Birds of the day. Keep track of it. He retired only at 34 years old, which is odd. I feel like there's a good chance that we'll see him in a Bucs uniform, maybe a month or two. Gronk said 69% chance that he shows up at Tampa for training camp. So,
nice.
If Gronk thinks it, I think we should all think it. One thing that I don't think that Gronk probably thinks is that Julian's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if you have a different take than me, but...
absolutely not. I mean, listen, you love to see a good wide receiver. You love to see it, but...
They don't exist.
I wouldn't say Hall of Fame for this guy. Not quite.
Not at all. All right. Alex Smith retired today.
Yep.
Retired today. What's today?
Today
the 19th of April. Retired today. Hats off to him. Came back. They should honestly rename the Comeback Player of the Year award to Alex Smith. I saw that, when he was playing, and I feel like that's just, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was truly, as much as, you hated the Redskins as an NFC East fan, but it was nice to see him get out there and play. You never want to see someone's career into an injury, but, truly inspiring. The guy's leg looked like the letter S, so, always good to see him.
Heisman 2.0?
Yeah.
Same, I think it was, Same week, same day, against the Giants.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. But other than that, solid, very underrated quarterback. Not mobile, not flashy, but got the job done. We're not going to actually talk about Alexander Holtz. I kind of just threw that on the notes, but we'll talk about it when we go over the Devils. And also the Bengals released new uniforms today. Not different really much from their old
just
ones.
Just updated.
But probably one of the only good uniform updates that we've seen over the last year. Last year we saw a million updates, new logos and all that shit. The Rams fucked theirs up. Sorry, Grandma.
So bad. That's 2.
But the Bengals, I always liked the Bengals jersey, so I was really upset when I found out that they were changing it. But they look good. They kept them the same, concepts the same, just, little tweaks here and there.
I really like the white on white, and the black on black is nice. The mix is going to be fine, but I really loved... I was a big fan of their white jerseys when they kept the numbers black. Like, everything was black on it besides just the patches on the shoulders. I thought it was a really clean-looking jersey. It was kind of similar to, like, Jacksonville's white jerseys. Really like them. They, the white on white looks really nice, and That's basically it.
I
Yeah.
feel like Jacksonville. I'm not a big fan of their jerseys.
Do you remember
honestly.
their helmets when they had the half matte, half glossy helmet? Yeah, those were disgusting.
That was their
That was-
Blake Bortles stretch.
Yeah, that was like the end of Maurice Jones-Drew too.
They have like a solid colorway that I could see, somehow managing to get a nice jersey, but I think they're just black now. They changed their jerseys up and they're just black and white. It's like, how lame could you be, honestly? But I mean, they've changed their jersey up probably I feel like 10 times over the last 5 years.
They've definitely had the most updated jerseys, over. Not like the most updated in difference wise, just like the most frequently updated jersey.
Like, how hard is it? I feel nice black, solid all black, solid all white, maybe with like teal outline, like in a lot of the spots. Maybe like a little like bring back the old Jaguar logo on the shoulder. It would look nice. But other than that, we'll bring it into the New York world of sports realm, which is down tremendously bad, probably worse than EDP at this point.
Yeah, rest in peace, EDP. He's not dead. He's just going to jail. I don't know.
Which is probably worse than being dead at that point.
Yeah. If you haven't heard EDP or only bright spot of Philadelphia that everyone can enjoy, just got caught talking to a decoy 13-year-old for not the first but second time. Yeah.
Yeah, I defended him the first time, but I kind of just did it because I loved him. But now that, it's actually like...
Those DMs were...
Cat's out the bag and everything.
DMs were fucking wild. Did you see he was like, I've been a naughty boy?
I mean, it makes sense. The guy, spanks it like 30 times a day.
He's just as down bad as us, man. Not in that sense. He's just down bad, and we're down bad in the sports world.
Yeah, exactly. And, the New York Yankees, a team that, throughout their history is never down bad. They've been down.
And there's no Francesa to boot. You can't hear Francesa complain about it anymore, which is honestly the biggest disappointment about the whole thing. Nothing would have been better than him going crazy because the Mets are doing well and the Yankees aren't, and then someone telling him to want to slap his big butt cheeks. So,
yeah, I don't know. They're worse than anybody in the AL at 5-10. First time since '97 they were this bad. And it's funny, you go on Yankees Twitter, all the losers that are trying to cope and be like, oh, but '97 the Yankees, they won the World Series that year, blah 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 this, blah blah that. But regardless of the point, Derek Jeter and Joe Torre aren't walking through the door. You have Aaron Judge walking through that door with Aaron Boone. And Aaron Boone, oh God, didn't like him in the beginning. Really don't like him now. Absolute muff cabbage, honestly. If something's got to change, which it's not. Baseball is very, I feel like they hang on to their managers, and you don't really see in-season firings like you would in football or something like that.
It's pretty rare to see an in-season firing. I mean, to be completely honest, it doesn't happen often.
Exactly. I was thinking about it. The only time that I thought that popped up, it was the Tigers last year, but that was because their manager had health problems.
Mickey Callaway, I'm not positive, might have been fired in season, but I could be. No, he definitely wasn't. Actually, he was not. That was after the season.
Yeah.
But that's another down tremendous human being. Mickey Callaway.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, but the Yankees have no energy, no leaders. It's painful to watch, really, because you watch a team that's in the luxury tax and. They throw up guys like Giancarlo Stanton, who, honestly, at this point, I'm truly convinced that Mike goes up and just swings the bat as hard as he can, just level as could be, just hopes to make contact. That is really what I think. You watch the at-bats, they're horrible. Even DJ's not doing very well. Defensively, they're probably the worst team in the league. The only guy that's done well is, Garrett Cole, and their bullpen's actually done really well.
Did you see that Stroman play talking about defense where he made that behind the back grab?
Yeah, I felt like that was a gym class type thing. I felt like
it was
cool. Nice, but
cool.
I also think that he had more than enough time to.
He could have set his feet.
He could have really brought. Yeah. No, I meant bring it around town. I don't if you watched, he kind of had it behind his legs and moves it almost. Like, I feel like he could... Not taking
No,
away.
it was a good play. I would have loved to have seen him, take half a second and fire a strike to first base, but he rolled that boy in there.
Honestly, you know what? I've watched my fair share of pitchers not being able to throw the ball back to first base, so it may have rolled half the way there, but it got there.
Yeah, got him.
You know, shout out Lance Lynn and CeCe.
Yeah.
They.
I will never forget when CeCe took that line drive off the gut, man. He took that line drive right off the gut, and we were all going crazy. We were like, oh, he's going to make the throw to first, and just completely airmailed it.
Yeah, I remember.
That was great.
Just took the sucker right, bam, and then I was like, oh, yeah, let's go, CeCe. Just goes and launches the sucker.
He was excited. What can I say? I'd be pretty hyped, too.
It's crazy, actually, like a little off topic, but how pitchers can't throw a ball unless they're pitching into a strike zone. It blows my mind. I mean, that's what happens when you throw a ball like that over and over and over again. You probably just, like, lose, the actual way how to throw it, unless if you're throwing it, like, 95 miles an hour. Yeah. I remember Adam Ottavino threw a sucker, like, almost over the backstop. It was that bad, and he was, like, right there. It was really bad.
Too,
it was like
yeah.
It was like, how's this guy in the MLB and, like, pitching, but, like, he actually can't throw a ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but other than that, Yankees 5-game losing streak. I really can't see anything getting better, Hopefully I jinx it. I am Jinx King.
On the other hand, I am a Mets fan. I get this. I know that this team is done in April feeling. But, the Mets always come close to making the playoffs afterwards. So, and they did not have as good of teams as the Yankees do now. So, if these guys wake up, I can really see them turning the season around. They'll be fine. I think they'll make the playoffs.
Baseball's a long, long season.
Yeah.
But,
streaky season, too.
The boos are even longer, and, the boos are going to be there every single time they play. Actually, speaking of boos, I don't know if you saw, but I think it was the second game of the set where they played the Rays.
I thought you were going to talk about alcohol, but all right.
The Yankees lost like 8-0, maybe, or 8-2, I think. They had a garbage time home run. And the fans started throwing shit on the field.
I did see that, because I heard Gary Cohen on the Mets broadcast said something about throwing stuff on the field, like at the Yankees game. He said something like that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's so funny, seeing people on, Twitter cry and be like, oh, you could have hurt a player. It's like, well, A, they're probably not aiming for a player, and B, I have no problem with it. I was at the Devils playoff game, same with him, and at the end of the game, watching fans throw, like, their towels onto the ice at the Tampa bench. Awesome. Like, just inject that in my veins. I love trashy fans. I really do, because I feel like they, energize the crowd more. And those are the fans that, care a lot about, their team. I remember watching when the Yankees lost to the Red Sox, actually. There was a guy that launched a tall boy at Craig Kimbrell coming out of the pen. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It may have almost hit him. And it was probably not the best thing to do. Like, I don't want you to throw it at an actual player, like, intentionally. But it rattled him, man.
Yeah.
The Yankees ended up losing that game, but they were a grand salami away. They were, like, 2 feet away. Gary almost hit a grand slam. 2 feet away to win it. Like, it rattled the shit out of him. So, they really, the Yanks are down bad. And as of right now, I can't see anything changing. Another thing that I don't see changing is them playing well against the Rays.
Yeah, that might just be the season thing. It happens where, a team just does poorly against another team for a season. It happens,
In their last 23 games, the Yankees are 5-18 against the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's not too good.
No, it's not. And every single time the Rays come in, I feel like the Rays literally are the biggest sweats and tryhards in the world. Like, I feel like every single time they play the Yankees, it's like, all right, this is our World Series. We got to fucking go. And you know what? Good for them, because the Yankees come out flat every time, and they just make it infuriating to watch. So,
yeah,
they really just feel like the sweats in the lobby, in the Call of Duty lobby, that are just like last guy left in search and destroy, and they're all just like trying to trick shot you.
Yeah,
like that's how I feel when the Yankees play the Rays. Like, you're the fucking kid that is the last one alive, and you're just getting shock charged to death. And, like, they're just jumping off the shit trying to 360 you. That's
Well,
really
in
bad.
other news, instead of down bad, let's go up good. The Mets 7-3 in their last 10, 4-1 at home, and 3-3 on the road. Pretty freaking cool. We'll take that. That's a victory. I've been waiting a long time for a season like this if it stays the way it's going, and I will truly find some inner peace and happiness if we can get that going. But like I said, I really don't think the Yankees are doomed yet. Yet. I'm not going to say they're not doomed, but I really don't think they're doomed yet. I think they still have a chance of making the playoffs. Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully we can, old takes expose this. And
Yeah, true. Well, we'll cut back to this at a later date where the Mets are down horrible and the Yankees are in the playoffs. So,
not that I think the world's over, but I think this is the year where if shit hits the fan completely, I think you see Brian Cashman fired. I think you see Aaron Boone fired. I think you see Giancarlo moved in the offseason, and I think they move away from this, I'm going to homer you to death type offense
to
a nice contact offense, which, also just doesn't help that nobody on this team has a clutch like vein in their,
That was a problem with the Mets in the beginning of the season too, with the runners in scoring position.
Aaron Judge is guaranteed for a strikeout in a big situation. Every single time. I think he struck out like 4 times last game, honestly.
Oh, yeah, the sombrero.
Oh, yeah. He does it all the time. Honestly, I've never seen a guy go down 0-2 more in my life, and he's going to strike out. You know he's going to strike out. Like, it is a guarantee. I will bet my life on it every time.
I feel like that's a big guy thing, like a home run hitters thing. I feel like Pete Alonso does the same thing.
He bats contact, too. Like, it's not like he's just dependent on a home run ball. Like, Aaron gets on base. He's not like Giancarlo.
No, I know Giancarlo's a pretty one-dimensional game. I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but like that's a huge portion of his game.
Every single swing Giancarlo takes is just, if he gets the right angle, then it's gone. But like that, or it's just chopping in the ground. Honestly, I would love to know how many times he's actually put the ball in play. I feel like he strikes out like 4 times a game too. And other guys that strike out a bunch a game is Double Agent Jay Bruce. He's gone. See you later.
Yeah, I mean he was a good Met. Love him for that. He was in right field when I had season tickets. But
it's funny. I told you. I told you. After like the last time he played, I was like, "That's going to be the last time you saw him in the Yankees." And it really was the last time. So
he didn't play the game when he announced he retired. Like he didn't go out.
No, he just hung out.
Oh yeah.
In the yeah. So I mean, nothing against Jay Bruce. I'll hate him, but
you hear that, Jay? He's coming after you.
He looks like an old guy. He really looks like he could teach history, honestly. Like, you look at him and you're like, this isn't a baseball player. This guy could teach history.
History teachers are usually pretty good athletes.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying it because he's some slouch, History teachers are like my favorite teachers for the most part, so. But that also means that Mike Ford's coming back, so. Shout out Mr. Michael Ford. And Domingo's coming back, too, so. Yeah, Domingo Herman.
Until he speed bags his wife in the face.
Yeah, I don't know. He's another guy down very bad, but they need pitchers and they need first basemen that hit lefty. So hopefully they can both fill up some spots and actually play well.
Yeah.
And in more depressing news, let's go on to the New Jersey Devils.
All right, this is where my smile goes away.
Yeah. A week ago, when we were talking about how we were going to record an All Devils podcast next week because they're playing this big series against the Rangers. Well, fast forward to now. The Devils got swept in this series.
Took a big fucking shit is what they did. That's about it.
Yeah. They got shut out in the first 2. And then the next one, they lost 6-3. And then the last one, which was Sunday, which was yesterday, they lost 5-3.
Well, the 6-3, 5-3 were those last 3 goals for the last 2 and the one and the last one and the other one they were all empty net.
Yes, they gave up 2 empty net goals in the 6-3 loss, and then they gave up an empty netter in the 5-3 loss.
Yeah.
So, regardless of the point, they still don't know how to play defense. It's very pathetic. They're really, really down bad, and they're getting to the point where it's like, Buffalo was bad, and they won an 18-game losing streak. The Devils are just as bad as Buffalo. I think they're like 2 or 4 points ahead of Buffalo. So, I really didn't want another lottery pick, but it looks like we're coming that way.
Luke Hughes.
Nah, we'll be higher than Luke, actually, so.
But then they might trade down. They could trade down for the pick, possibly. If they want Luke, they could trade down, get something, and Luke Hughes. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, we're talking hypotheticals here. With the luck that we're having, they might get like the 8th pick.
Yeah, they'll drop that much. Rangers can get first again. Why not? Yeah, but other than that, they're 1-10 in their last 11 games, so not bad. They don't play defense anymore. They've just completely forgot. And also the goaltending's been atrocious as could be. That doesn't help either. Blackwood, in this Rangers series, how many times was there an easy goal given up, but how many times was there a goal where the goalie had no chance? There was no, either or. It was just...
Goals were going in. Pucks were getting in the back of the net.
Pucks were getting in the back of the net. Save percentages were dropping, and guys were getting released. That's what was going on. Guys were playing their way out of the NHL.
It was the Trail of Tears for the Devils this past weekend, to be completely honest, and it was not a fun thing to watch. It was like it's like watching your kid play sports and just getting absolutely fucking housed, and you just got to be like, hey, I get it. They're just better than you. We'll get back after them, but.
I didn't feel like that. It was more of like
yeah.
more of like you look at your kid and you're just watching him fucking pick boogers and
what are we at, like $6 or $7 now?
No, definitely lower than that.
No, I think.
Well, if you're talking about picking boogers, you definitely better throw an F-bomb in there. Picking boogers and making sandcastles at like third base or whatever. You're like bad. Like that. This kid's horrible. I need to get him out of sports. That's how I feel about the Devils right now.
Just put him down.
Especially how I felt after every single first period they played. That's how I felt. I was like, please just take this poor old dog and just take him out back. I'll bring the shotgun. Like honestly, like that's how I felt. In the first period, in these 4 games, they're outscored 9-0. So. Not the way that you'd want to start a hockey game, by all means.
They didn't score a single first period goal?
No.
Because they got shut out twice, and they did not. Wow.
The first game, they gave up 1 goal in the first. The first game, they gave up 1 goal in the first period. The third game, they gave up 3 in the first period. The third game, they gave up, I think they also gave up 3 again, and then they gave up 2. So that's not the way that you'd really want to start a game, especially in the last 2 where you're coming back and you're pushing. And 3 of the 4 games, you can make the argument that the Devils push the pace. And you can also just make the argument that I was going to say it, Grandma, I'm sorry. Not a necessary F-bomb, but they suck. They just,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, what was a little, like, I mean, I don't know what's more disheartening. I guess just getting clapped like they did, but it also hurts seeing them like come back and just give you that little glimmer of hope and then just blow it.
I thought you were gonna say getting clapped by the Rangers. I think that's
getting clapped by the Rangers. Yeah, well that's the worst part about it. But I'm just saying, like, you have the 2 games where they get shut out, but you also have 2 games where they come all the way back and just don't.
In that first game, you can make the argument that they pushed the pace the whole entire time. Second game, they looked horrible. That was like the worst game they'd ever played in the entire season by far. Like by far. The Devils, they lose games by 1 goal. They play hard and they lose games by 1 goal. Except if it's against the Rangers, they lose by 6.
Yeah. So the past few Devils Rangers games we've been to were not good either.
The Rangers they just carve up the Devils because of the style of offense they play and their puck movement. The Devils just don't have a lot of experienced defensive sticks. Mm-hmm. And the way the Rangers pass and the way the Devils turn the puck over is just like one-timer.
Yeah. It's a recipe for disaster completely. I mean, you have young guys who turn the puck over. You got guys who can't use their sticks well in defense. You got guys who don't have the best positioning on defense.
That's the biggest thing is positioning.
The positioning on defense, and then you got the Rangers who can pass, who can shoot. It's just not a good combination. Definitely, they do not match up well against each other in that sense.
I really should have gone back and looked at the percentage of goals that were scored by the Rangers this series that were on one-timers. Honestly, I would say more than half of them because they were either on 2-on-1s, on a power play. It wasn't fun to watch, really. It was one of those things where you sat back and you smiled and you're like, is this real life? Really, that's how it felt.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I had other things to watch, like the Mets, but I did tune into a couple of the couple periods of a couple different games and instantly turned it off. Was not worth my time.
I had the privilege of watching both games. I throw the Yankees up on the laptop and watch them lose, and then I watch the Devils on TV lose. So I had the setup going. Just recipe for depression and wanting to punch a hole in your wall.
Laptop, TV, and a rope. That's about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things really need to change with the Devils. I mean, it also doesn't help that 2 of your 4 best guys were out this series, and Bratt and Pavel. Doesn't help. Definitely makes a difference.
You got Nico, who skated like 5 games this season. Too.
The last 2 games, he actually looked really well.
Yeah, he finally got his legs under him. But,
Yeah. But then again, you're on a line with Nick Merkley and Andreas Janssen, like 2 guys that probably even shouldn't be in the NHL.
I don't even know how Andreas Janssen's even still here. Well, he had a good 10 days, and then did what afterwards? No, absolutely nothing. So.
I'll give him credit in the fact that he's always trying, but I've never seen a guy just hit the ice more than him. Not in terms of falling down, but in terms of getting his shit rocked. I've seen the guy get leveled over and over and over again, and he just always goes down. He has heart, and that's the only thing I guess that's keeping him in the lineup, but he's just a bad hockey player. He just doesn't fit the system, and you can make the argument that a lot of guys don't either fit the system or they're just bad hockey players. And I would say, more than 50% of them are just really bad hockey players.
That happens.
Yeah, it does. Except when you're year 8 in a rebuild and you're like, all right, when are the good times coming? And it's like, oh, next year.
So is next year.
Personally, I think we're almost out of the tunnel. But one Jack Hughes trade request away is just sending us back into,
if Jack Hughes
into the depths.
If Jack Hughes goes, it's over for me, man. I don't know if I'll be watching hockey for a long time.
Yeah, that would be depressing. I'm kidding. I don't think he'd go anywhere. If anything, he'd leave. Not. If anything, he'd leave when his contract expires. The Devils got reinforcements coming. Whether that's next year or the year after that, they just got to learn how to spend money and not be cheap bastards.
Yeah, I'll kill him if he leaves.
No.
I'll kill him.
Nah, he's a good kid.
No, I'll kill him.
I enjoy watching him, and I enjoy watching him rage. Makes me happy.
I don't want him to play for anyone else besides us.
Yeah, that would be depressing. I've never really had a player leave my team in free agency. The one time...
I don't know.
Well, 2 of the 3 is Kovalchuk retired. That was depressing. Zach Parise left. That just, ended a frickin' what could have been really good stretch of years. That just forced them to go into a rebuild. And Dez got released, but that one was tough. So if Jack leaves, I don't even know how I'll feel. I'll probably be 25 by that point. And I don't want to be 25 years old crying over a kid that's 22, but, anything's possible.
But it's not happening.
I hope not.
No, it will not, because we're winning the Stanley Cup the next 5 years in a row.
Maybe I'll say in 3. No, they should honestly
compete.
They need to compete. They need to compete next year, or they need to sell the team. That's how I feel.
Well, that's another problem, is that they don't pick anybody up. They don't make moves. There's nothing. It's just a stale team.
Yeah, I don't know how many more times I can brag about, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, at least we have the most cap space in the NHL. What the hell's that got us?
Yeah.
You just see Devils Twitter being like, oh, we can sign this guy and that guy and that guy. Well, like, A, we don't even have guys to sign to contracts for the most part. And B, maybe we should go out and sign people. So
yeah, Patrick Laine would be a very nice addition.
Yeah, that's tough because he's an RFA, so that means
Yeah.
they'd have to put in an offer sheet,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't going to happen. So hopefully he just leaves, and then the Devils can just pick him up. That would be cool. That, maybe Dougie Hamilton. Get a nice defenseman.
Dougie.
Uh,
Yeah, no, defense is a priority, and goal scorers is a priority.
Yeah, the thing is, Dougie Hamilton's not really a defenseman, but he does know how to play defense to a degree where it is better than
anything we have now.
Better than anything we have now.
Yeah.
And Ty Smith can model his game around him and really help him develop. Yeah, I don't know, it's tough.
Yeah.
Very, very depressing podcast that we are bringing to you.
Energy is at a low.
It was good going in, I felt
Yeah.
good. I went down to the Meadowlands. Haven't been there since we went to an XFL game. I got my vaccine shot. Went well, went quick, and I was coming in. I'm like, nice, you know what? We get the podcast today, cool. And then I'm talking about the Devils, and I'm like, where is my energy right now? Just straight, sad vibes, sad boy vibes. QO, all girls are the same, honestly.
You do in a trash can full of fire. Horrible vibes. Smelly. Bad Devils. Sad me.
Yeah, honestly, like, the last thing maybe two things I'll say about the Devils.
Uh-oh.
It was the point that I was making before. It was the fact that they just don't have enough NHL talent. You watch that they have a lot of heart. These kids play hard, they play fast, but they're just not good. How many times did you see like a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1?
And it's not even that, listen, the NHL talent that we do have is skilled. Like, there is a skilled NHL talent to this team, but just no one can put the puck in the net, We got a lot of playmakers, it feels like, and just no one to finish these passes, these setups and everything, and just nothing happens. Plays are made and just not finished.
Yeah, they just pass way too much. They try and the Yankees try and hit homers and homer a team to death. The Devils try and pass a team to death, so you can't even score on a freaking pass. They just don't have any guys that, I think once they get older and they, more experienced in the league, I think they'll figure out how to put the puck in the net. Like, look at Pavel.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
also
like Pav and Jasper Bratt, like that's their bread and butters, that they're very well-rounded offensively. But, we don't have anybody who is just pure goal scoring.
Yeah, they just have a bunch of guys that like I said, they play hard, but they don't have skill. Like, you watch the Rangers and, like, the puck movement they had, that's what gets guys out of position. And then they have the one-timers. How many times do you watch the Devils take one-timers or just have a, puck movement where it's like they get guys out of position?
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I saw a Devils one-timer. Like, another thing is, like,
and it's Brad. Brad is the only person that takes one.
He's the only person that takes one tease. I was going to say that. And then you'll see someone, like, catch a pass and try to wrist it in, like, just let her fly.
Yeah, I don't know. They take too long. That's why their power play is so dog shit. They have no puck movement whatsoever, and then that's why the Rangers went like... Oh, the Devils also had a 56% penalty kill in this series. So that could also be a problem, believe it or not. Only being able to kill a little bit more than 50% of the power plays could be a problem. So special teams is horrible. Roster, pretty bad.
Vibes.
State of the Devils, horrible.
Vibes horrible. Depression on.
Yeah, right.
In full effect.
I would love to go to a Devils game, though. Still, I want to go to, like, one more.
Oh, we never mentioned, I don't know if any Devils fans are listening, but you've probably seen me. I'm the idiot that wears the big hot dog costume on the Jumbotron all the time. So if I do go, and this is up before the Devils game, which hopefully it should be, I think we might go Thursday against the Flyers.
I wouldn't wear the hot dog, though.
I don't know if I'm going to wear the hot dog.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think they deserve it.
I don't think they do. Maybe when they start spending money and winning games, I think, bring the bitch back out. Dust it off. But
yeah,
until then, I feel like...
I'm not the hero that this team deserves. I'm the hero this team needs.
Honestly, though, you may need to bring it just so you could get on and just pound a beer.
That's what I was saying. They didn't put me on last time.
I think that's because we didn't have our masks up. Honestly,
You
that's
think so?
what I think.
Whatever. I'm vaxxed now. I almost died from my vaccination for this. That's right. But yeah, I'm vaxxed now. Let me wear my mask down a little bit. Let my nose get some fresh air. I'm tired of breathing in my nacho beer breath in my mask.
Yeah,
Let me rock. I bought a $20 pulled brisket sandwich there. I was burping. I didn't want to smell that, man. Like, let my nose out. Let me just keep my nose out. All right.
Yeah, those ladies were locked down, honestly.
Oh my
Like
God.
Jalen Ramsey outside, like type lockdown. Like just had the whole entire section clamped.
Hawked. Like you had no chance.
And it's like you test them over and over again, and it's like, bam, knockdown, bam, knockdown. Oh, you want to get thrown out one more time? Same thing as a pick six. Just they were literally Jalen Ramsey. That's what it was. But yeah, enough. I feel like go to a Devils game, take a nice train down, so you don't have to worry about driving and drinking, and then you can pound as many beers as you want there once they're down 5-0 at the end of the third.
I'm definitely gonna try to get my drink on beforehand because I'm not spending $18 on a tall boy.
Yeah, what were they last
They
time?
were like $18. I'm pretty sure.
I think they were $14.50.
All right, still whatever. It's ridiculous.
I know.
We're freshly 21. Not freshly. I'm more freshly 21, but you know, stadium beers is a new concept.
Yeah, really. We don't have careers. So I don't know where this, large sums of money are going to be going towards, beers. It's hard enough paying for the goddamn games to begin with.
Yeah, so if you guys keep watching, I'll be able to keep drinking at the games. So.
Exactly. Watch so we can drink beers at games.
Tell your grandma to show her mahjong group. Nothing like our beautiful voices in the background talking about what makes us sad. While your grandma's got 3 BAM cracks. Well, that makes no sense. BAM and crack are 2 different. But 3 BAMs,
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about. I didn't know if that was like a brand of crack cocaine.
No. There's the different suits in mahjong. She got 3 BAMs, couple jokers. She's ready to throw down a mahjong. She gets to listen to us. And we get money. And we're happy. And you're happy.
Yeah.
And that's that. Well, we won't be happy because of the game, but we'll be happy because you're listening to us.
One thing that I was happy about, although, obviously, I was embarrassed, but it was a long time coming. I make it clear how much I hate the person that runs the Devil's social media. I hate him. I can't stand him. Just because all they do is just post things that are going to get, old takes exposed later, or just have another team come after him. Because, in the beginning of the year when the Devils were good for the week, 2 weeks, they were, all the Devils Twitter did was oh, you know what? Maybe you should try scoring a goal at Islanders. Nice, dude. What are they going to do? Beat us 4-0 next time? Awesome. So, you know what? They posted a tweet a while back about the Rangers saying that they were doing great, and it was a guy falling into a pond. And you know what? Guess who came back at him? The New York Rangers.
And there's nothing much you could really do in that situation. You could try to zing them, but what the fuck are you going to say?
I think they responded with...
They said, look who has a personality now.
Which honestly was probably the best thing that they could have said.
Yeah.
I think that was the best thing that they could have done. Or maybe
win a fucking game.
That or just don't do it.
Well, not that the social media guys we're at 10 F-bombs, but not that the social media guys got any control over
I hate the social media guy.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, you deserve a raise. Yeah, some things that they are funny, but also a lot of them are really corny, middle school things that Justin cracked at Fortnite. You'd see him post on his Twitter, honestly. Oh yeah, dude, you stink. Devils win. Score goals maybe, or I don't know, something stupid like that. You're
Bad
owned
chirps.
by Jack Hughes.
Bad chirps.
Just cringy chirps that you'd hear from
from my guy Justin.
Exactly, from my guy Justin. So, not saying thank you to the Rangers for sweeping the Devils because the Devils Twitter is still going to do it, but
maybe you made him take a step back. Maybe
Sorry.
that's the only positive we could take away from this whole.
Close your ears, Grandma, but fuck Devil's Twitter person. Fuck you.
I think
You're
it's
so
11 or
annoying.
12, something like that. Well, you know what? We'll have a counter up on the YouTube video.
That would be cool,
Yeah.
honestly.
We'll put a counter in.
They did that in a South Park episode.
Yeah, where they said shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first ever South Park episode I watched.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I was in
dude,
fourth grade.
oh my god. South Park is some great freaking episodes, man. I just watched the one where Cartman tried pulling a prank on Butters, so he put Butters' wiener in his mouth, and he's like, dude, that makes Butters gay. And he was like, well, no, Cartman, that makes you gay. And then all he tried to do was try to get his wiener in Butters' mouth. Yeah, that was like one of the first episodes I watched. I watched it recently, too. That was a great episode.
Yeah, that was the first episode I watched, and I was like in fourth grade, and what were they saying? Shit?
Shit, yeah, it was shit.
And I was like, oh my god, they've said it 100 times. I shouldn't be watching this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty wild. In other news, as we mentioned before, actually, prices of beers being extremely expensive and just bad ownership in general. What we were going to do was pretend to be... We like doing a thing called hypothetical situation, which we had done on our first episode. Not this one, the garbage one that is in the incinerator. The first one took place how many rounds of kids we'd be able to survive.
So isn't it like, it's 10 second or third graders each round, and then each fifth round there's a fifth grade boss added, so that's like an 11-year-old like added into the mix too.
Yes.
Like how many rounds do you think you could last in a situation like that?
Yeah, so we're not going to do that one this time around. Honestly, you know what? We could do that too. It doesn't really matter.
You know what I always think? I was like, how long do you think you could streak on the field for at a game? I think about that probably every time I go to a game. I'm like, how long do you think I could survive, and can I get away with it? Like,
no. You getting away with it? No.
I think about it. Like, maybe I'll go to the, start on the first baseline, somehow get to the third baseline, hop the fucking little concrete.
Yeah, but they're still going to get you in the end. If you consider surviving just staying on the field and getting off the field, then I would say, yeah, I would.
My stamina's not good enough to stay on the field that long, though. That's my problem, honestly, would be the stamina. I think I got the cuts for it. I just don't think I got the stamina. Oh, until the taser comes out and then I'm starched and I fall like a
They're not going to tase you. I think the most important thing.
It happens.
If you want a successful, whatever it's called. What's
streak.
Streak. I was thinking like nude thing. That was the only thing that was going through. If you want a successful streak, it's really all about keeping your head on a swivel. How many times have you watched videos and you're like, and this guy is doing great and he's got his hands up and he's just like, yeah, let's go, and just absolute hit stick to his gut, and it's like, oh my god, this like 55-year-old bald man just leveled you into the next entry. Yeah. So I feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like I could do all right. Depending on the baseball game, football game.
I'm going to go with baseball. I feel like it's probably easier to streak at a baseball game, honestly, in my opinion. Because there's a whole side, there's a big sideline to get to the field in football.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more security at a football stadium.
I think if I went from entered from first base, ran to third, but stayed on the outfield, can't cut through the infield, I feel like...
It's a tough question. I mean,
if you're kind of hot dogging it a little bit and kind of selling, I feel like you may get caught up and you may gas yourself out after once you veer off that course that you have planned in your mind. I feel
doomed.
Like
you're definitely doomed at that point. Because then when you start improvising, then you're going to really tire yourself out.
Then you really tire yourself out, and there's only more security guards that get there.
Yeah.
So... And honestly, there's always a wild card that the center fielder's going to come out and hit you too.
That's crazy. I was thinking about that too. What if the first baseman just fucking trips me, something or the right fielder just decks me, something crazy. That's another thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's one thing.
Would you rather go out by getting decked by the right fielder, or would you rather go out?
No. the security guard. Because in my mind, it's like I planned for the security guard, but I'm not taking the right fielder into it. And then also, if that's a team that I root for, never forgive them.
Do you think that if you went to Yankee Stadium, Yankees Red Sox, you're streaking while the Yankees are at bat, you think the Red Sox outfielder would come for you? Or do you think he would just...
I feel like that's more of a home
I feel like
field
a
thing.
home team would try to get you,
Yeah.
but the away team would just
I
let
feel
it
like
happen.
they'd have more of an initiative to be like, all right, get off my field, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But then again, you could be an athlete like Zeke at the Pro Bowl. Zeke did it, and, it worked well. Like, he was a good guy about it. He kind of, tackled the kid, very lightly. And that's different from, getting tripped. Like, if you get tripped or, rocked, then I'd be mad.
I'd be really pissed to get rocked by a baseball player.
But if, Zeke just, hugged me and brought me to the ground, then I'd be like, this is even better than streaking. Because now I got Zeke Elliott, skinny Zeke Elliott at that point.
Yeah.
Hugging me on the Pro Bowl.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we're just trucking through it. We're no more intermissions, damn it. We're resilient.
It's just a couple crazy fans. They found our headquarters.
Oh it's God, fun. One of them is flashing me. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Oh God.
I think I would survive pretty well, but I always think I'm more athletic than I actually am. I think I do well. I think I could possibly get an escape route. I'd have to really plan it out, but if I can hop that little concrete wall, because every baseball stadium's got that little concrete wall. If I can get there right in the staircase and just sprint her up the stairs and just maybe book it out the stadium, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, hopefully there's no douchers either that are gonna tackle you when you're going up the stairs too.
I feel like as a fan, I'm rooting for the streaker.
Yeah, I could. Same with me, but
yeah,
there's a lot of bums out there that are like, oh, you know what? Screw happiness, damn it! I want you to. Guys that are wannabe cops and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just doing my job. Fuck you.
It's my civic duty as an American at this game. Yeah, you're a doucher if you do that, 100%.
You always root for the people.
Come on, man.
They're
I'm
like
not getting
you.
paid.
Fans have a bond where you can take any person from any place, any aspect of life, and you just bond because you have that, one thing that you can get over. And the amount of times I've gone to games and there's just some random person that I end up just talking to. There was a point where I went to a playoff Yankee game and everybody left except for me, and I was just talking to these two Latino dudes for maybe 2 innings, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a great time. It really was a great time.
Did they lost that game?
No, they won.
Oh, they won.
Every single playoff game I've gone to for the Yankees, I've been to 4. They've won all 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I've been to one playoff game ever. It was the Devils.
And I've been to the Devils.
And they won. And that was cool.
That was
the one game they won. That was a great time. That was the first time I ever wore the hot dog.
Yes.
That was the first time ever. I'll never forget that conversation after school. It was our senior year of high school. And I go, you think I should wear the hot dog? And it was no hesitation. It was just a big green light.
It's just why wouldn't you wear the hot dog? This is the first time New Jersey's having a playoff game in 7 years.
Yeah,
this place is going to be rocking. If they see a guy with a hot dog, everybody's going to be a lot more intoxicated than they would usually be. So it would just be, especially hockey fans in general, they all look the same. They're massive. They either got big beards or they're bald. They're all fat. And it's, hot dog, dude, what's up?
Yeah, people love it, man.
Yeah.
People do. I got that hot dog to ask some girl out to prom. Great promposal, by the way. She's a bitch. She said yes, but I just don't talk to her anymore. Don't worry. I'm not like that.
Blake Coleman scored a goal.
Yeah.
Fucking that was his one-handed flip actually.
Yeah, that night.
I went with him. I was in the car watching the Devils game. And,
it was against the Penguins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that one-handed flip. Yeah, well, one of the one-handed flips he had a couple of them on the Devils, but still, yeah, that was the first one. That was pretty cool. Promposal happened. went to prom, whatever. Hot dog, Devils playoffs. Much better situation.
Prom was never a good time.
I went to 2 proms. The first one I went to was good. 2 proms senior year. I went to 2 proms senior year, and the first one I went to was good. I enjoyed myself for that one. Prom weekend was awesome. Both times. Yeah. That hot dog's brought me some good times and some pretty tremendously horrible times as well.
Yeah, I'm not much of a dancer, so I'd always just, kind of just hope that the food at the prom would be good, and the food was horrible. And then on top of the food being horrible, you know what? I won't go into it, but
I'm a dancer.
Where I was going with it,
Hoochie Mamas.
Where I was going with it was the first time I had gone, I watched Cleveland. We actually watched the Warriors Cavaliers finals.
Yeah.
And then the second time I had gone, I sat at my table watching the Caps Golden Knights. That was actually the night that the Caps won the Stanley Cup. So that was what I took from prom.
That was Hoochie Mama alert that whole night. For everybody, honestly. Everyone had a hooch. Everyone had a hooch that night.
Yeah, whole table was, honestly, the rate was, in terms of, like...
Did Evan sit at our table?
Evan did sit at our table. Oh. I don't know the correct word for it, but, like, in terms of, I guess you could say, future success rates.
0%. Much
worse than the Devils' penalty killing. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, like I said before, another hypothetical situation. I'm happy that we went off on the one. Well, this one is... Did I introduce it? I can't remember.
What, the kids?
No, not the kids.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, all right. So, I was talking about beers, and I was talking about how owners suck. And then I was saying, if you were an owner, what the hell would you do? That was the hypothetical situation that I introduced to this guy. So, I don't know what he wants to do. For this point, I might as well stick with the Tide and just pretend like I'd be the Devils owner.
See, now, if I'm going to go for an owner situation, I would probably do the Devils as well, only for the reason that I feel like you get away with a lot more in hockey. I just feel like that environment is a lot more...
outgoing?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say outgoing. But yeah, so something like that. Around...
I feel like the vibe at hockey games is a lot more upbeat, and you can do a lot more like...
It's a lot more adult. I feel like a lot of other places are too, like, not kid-friendly, but, like, just too PG, too worried about, being inappropriate.
Honestly, yeah. I miss the days when they had kiss cams, honestly. Not because I was down bad and horny, but they were fun to watch. Not because of that, but because, like, when they'd pull up, like I don't know. I mean, it's different now, but back then they used to pull up, like, 2 Ranger dudes.
Yeah.
And, like, they would do the kiss cam on it, and, like, that was funny. But, like, now you can't really do that so much anymore.
Yeah.
World's changed since the late 2000s.
Honestly, I feel like the 2000s, the jump is just tremendous. Like, how the world has changed. Besides, like...
No more kissing.
The Civil Rights Act, I would say that the world has changed the most in that period of time. But yes.
Yeah, having fun, you have to be careful when you have fun. Nowadays, you don't know what happens. But yeah.
So let me hear what you got to say about if you were the Devils owner, because I'm probably going to...
Honestly, I would bring back the kiss cam, but just because I'd want to see, like... some, like, fat dude, like, next to some hot girl
chick,
that, like, obviously they aren't together and they don't know each other, but it would be funny to see the reaction, because that was honestly the best thing about it. But the biggest thing that comes to mind, and in all seriousness, would first be to ban Ranger fans from coming to Devils games. But then again, that would probably... wipe out half the Rangers fan base from being able to see, like, their favorite team play for years, because most of them are too fucking poor and bums to actually afford to go to their own arena. That's how I really feel. Also, yeah, that's probably the thing that angers me the most in the entire world. If we're being totally honest with you. In other news, like I said, I would cheapen concessions. Definitely go back to the old goal horn. No doubter.
Oh yeah.
No doubter.
Yeah,
Old goal horn.
Yeah.
Old goal horn. Old goal song.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's like that's what it's all about. You know, like the new song. You know, nice little you suck, whatever. You know, but then you got that one guy that's standing usually across his fucking stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, really. Like, it was always just a good time, and like hockey's as white as could be. So like, I don't want to hear a really white goal song. Like the goal song that they have now, it's like, I don't know, something that you'd see like a 16-year-old with like a shaved head, like, you know, rocking, like walking down the hallway, like one of their like their earbuds disconnect, and then bam, like next thing you know, all you hear is, hey,
yeah. And then the kid picks up his books and runs away like he's in Naruto.
Yeah, exactly.
What is up?
God, you're falling over.
Derek's dog.
My old guy's in here. I don't think he's ever been in the shed, so hopefully just... Honestly, I think he's backed himself into a corner. I don't know if you're gonna,
oh my god.
I don't think he's going to be able to get out.
Champ kid.
He may come onto the table a little bit. No, please don't come onto the table. You're going to get stuck.
You're going to get stuck, dude. I was watching it the whole time.
I know. I was like, is he ever... I've never seen him come into the shed.
Hey, back her up. You're not going to...
But anyway, we're resilient. And on top of kiss cam things and, you know, funny cameras that you can see going on. Oh, it's...
Oh, he's stuck on the wire.
Is it?
Hold on.
Then unplug it.
I got it. All right. Get out of here, buddy. Okay. Get out of here.
Something that me and Tyler love to death are our New Jersey Devil Puck sluts.
Oh.
There's nothing...
And not even the hot ones, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know, usually the ratio is very poor. I'd say probably 70% of puck slut devil fans.
But it's an extreme. Like, you'd never catch that in between. If you are a puck slut, you are either an absolute dime piece, or you're fat, you wear camouflage hats, and your hair is dyed a different color.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. With maybe a little bit of a lip piercing going on.
Oh my god, the facial piercing's 100%.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, 9 times out of 10, I would much rather, you know, the big hooch puck slut to sit next to me, because that girl is going to scream her lungs out. And that's what I want to hear. I want to turn around and just be like, fuck yeah! Give a nice, you know, chest bump.
Yes!
And I want her to just, you know, knock me like 3 rows down.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, if, like, you know,
you be the
sexy
baseball
puck slut's like right next to me, then
you're the
it's
baseball
like,
and she's CC Sabathia. Just
right off the gut. Right off the gut.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but where I was going with that was puck slut of the game cam. So, you know, award.
Can't
you know,
call it the puck slut, but you'll know.
What, sexy hooch of the game cam?
I don't know. If
No, I don't want them to be sexy. I just want them to be a
I don't know if
puck
you could
slut.
just put on this puck slut of the game. I don't think you could do that.
Puck hooch.
Crazy puck lady.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, crazy lady. Your crackhead idea was a good idea too.
Yeah, another one that goes along with the cameras is the fact that I would really just... Newark is very notorious for their crackheads. It's gotten a lot better since they've opened up the arena first.
But these
in
aren't like
2007.
normal crackheads. There's something in the water, man. Something in the water.
They're eating way too much pitch and shit, honestly, if that's what I had to guess.
I on our way down to a Devils game once, I pointed out to Derek, because he's both a pigeon and crackhead fan, that wherever there are pigeons, there are crackheads.
Yeah, breeding ground.
They honestly, they hatch from the eggs, and you either come out a pigeon or a crackhead. You don't get to choose. You know,
you were already 65 years old, no teeth, and you walk around with like
kids. They were never kids. I name one young crackhead you've ever seen. They crawl out of the sewers at like 65 years old, no teeth, asking you for $1 because they need to buy a plane ticket to get home. They're only $1 short.
Rip beanie.
Yeah.
Maybe nice, like really old Carhartt.
Oh
jacket.
yeah, Carhartt jacket.
Yeah, but if you go into Newark Penn Station, or you really just go 2 blocks off away from the stadium,
Off the
you're
beaten
bound to
path.
find a nice, nice, very calm crackhead, probably done their fair share of whatever drug.
They talk. They
Bring them
talk
into a
very
game,
low,
throw
like
them in a
this.
wheelbarrow if they're knocked out, bring them to the game. The next thing you know, bam, throw them right in a box.
What if you had him
Crackhead of the
instead of
game.
the fucking? There's another one. Instead of the Ken Danico, Chico, and Patrick Elias, you put 3 crackheads on the ice. And
I was really thinking that too, but I felt like I don't know if that would really be testing it.
give them a chance to compete for some money.
Yeah, put like a cheeseburger at the end of the line.
Yeah, food and money.
Yeah. Other than that, what else? What else do I have?
Well, you didn't even bring up the Notorious.
Yeah. Well, you can bring her up. She's
Yeah.
more your girl than mine.
Oh yeah. So she's got 3 platinum albums with 2 #1 singles for probably the past 40 years. Haven't ever left the top 100 charts. She loves crack. She has no teeth. She's 80. She's got
Is
no
she
legs.
80?
I don't know. I'm guessing she's probably around 80. She could be 30. I have no clue.
That would be impossible.
She,
That would go against what
Good.
we believe in.
but she's got no legs, and she sits in a wheelchair, and she sings that she's not crazy and she is a lady.
That's a hit.
That's a hit, and the Devils win again. She finds the first fan out of the stadium. She goes, "Hey, did they win?" And you go, "Yeah, they won." And then she's there in a wheelchair, and the Devils win again, and the Devils win again.
Honestly, nothing hit harder than coming off that playoff Game 3 victory, and just atmosphere is electric. And then that year we had seen her multiple times. We had seen Crazy Lady. And just the fact that we saw her after the game, it was just like, bring me back, man, if I could. We never knew that she had no legs, which was...
That was honestly the biggest shock in the world, because it's obviously colder around that time, but, once you hit playoff season, it starts to warm up, and she didn't have the blanket on anymore, and she was legless. Like I was like, is she sitting on her knees? On the wheelchair? No, dude, she just straight up has no fucking legs.
Yeah, never did I actually think about it once. Accept crackheads for all type of crackheads. As long as they're nice to me, I will.
How do you
I won't give.
that spot?
I won't give them money, nor will I. But I will give them God's blessing.
Would she wheel outside one day and just never came back?
I'm a big crackhead connoisseur. I went to school in Philadelphia for 2 years, so I've had my fair share.
I had a crackhead encounter last night, actually, in New Brunswick.
They're a good time. If they're docile, they're good.
No, yeah, he talked real quiet. He said, "Hey, you have 50 cents? I mean no harm." I said, "Unfortunately, I don't. I did not bring my wallet with me because I did not plan on buying anything. I kind of just ran out the door, and New Brunswick's been getting kind of bad with people getting robbed, so I really didn't want my wallet on me, and." Yeah, I couldn't give it to him, and he kind of just gave me a big fat sigh, rolled his eyes, and walked away.
Yeah, I know. I love it when they get testy with you. The fact they're like, "Hey, you're coming to me. Why do I need to give you any money?"
One guy wouldn't let me on the train to get home. He stood in front of me, and he had his hand in his pocket. I thought he had a knife until I gave him $10, and then he finally let me on the train. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I would just probably.
I should have barreled him over.
Yeah, really. That'd just be like, "Hey, what's that?"
Yeah. True. Yield.
Whoa, what is that? Cheesesteak over there? What? Bam. Yeah, I don't know. I've had my fair share of crackhead encounters. Most of them were always fine. Had a few that were.
You're more numb to the crackhead experience than I am.
Oh, by far. Whenever
I feel bad every time.
Whenever I go out with my friends and obviously you, but and seeing how you guys react to crackheads, it's always
you just gotta barrel past them. Yeah. I'm not used to it. You definitely are.
I felt bad the first, my freshman year of college. I would feel bad for them, and I would be like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have anything," and I would kind of engage in a conversation with them, and And then it got to a point where I just, like, as inhumane as it is, it's just, like, how it really is. And anybody that has an extensive like, history of crackheads, they know that, like, either it's just got to be, like, a sorry no, or, like, you just move along. You don't even say a thing. And, like, how sad it sounds.
They got a nose for me, man, though. Like, they see me, and it's probably because I'm a younger person.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
They see that you're a younger kid. That's why. Because they know that you're the most vulnerable, and, like, you're willing to, like, you know, you probably don't have, you know. It's how it works. A little bit of a crackhead pod, honestly.
Yeah. Welcome to Lincoln Tunnel Crack.
Yes. I would bring back to this. I love the clean shaven stuff. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
What about mustache though? So
playoff, yeah.
I would allow them to grow playoff beards.
Of course, playoff
beards. But what about like what the Yankees do? Like you're allowed to have a mustache and that's it. Like that's that. Like no beard, just all mustache.
I want unity, so now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Not that it's old school, but I mean it is old school. But I just like it. I feel like it's like professional, and I feel like it's a good look, and I feel like there's a seriousness to it. I just think because the Yankees always do it. And when Lou was with the Devils, he made the Devils do it, and the Devils are great. You know, when they were clean-shaven, and then the Yankees have always been good. So it's like, I feel like there's like that relationship of it being, you know, clean-shaven, good team. Space out the urinals.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than just after the game or third period, just not enough space.
And you know what? Like, even if you don't space them out, like, put the dividers up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like, I have peripheral vision, you know? I can see out of the corners of, like, I can see my hand over here out of the corner of my eye. I just don't want to, I don't want any dong in my peripheral.
I never do. I just look up at the wall and I'm always like, it's just, like, hard to get it going, though. Like, a little bit of stage fright.
I do keep my head on a swivel. First of all, that is 100% true. Unless I have the alcohol flowing through me, I can't pee near anybody. But like, I keep my head on a swivel. I don't want anyone looking at my dong either. You know?
Well, that's why I like cup it. I go like bam.
Yeah.
Bam going on. That's how I really
do
lean
it. In.
Lean in
nice
like more of like a bring the hips in.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You get stage fright, especially when you're peeing and like there's a warm beer in front of you, and then like the guy next to you has the case of the beer shits, and it's just horrible. How are you gonna go to the bathroom? So honestly, if they
here he comes. Hey, get out of here! No, not
Champion, no, go back.
Get out of here! All right, okay, all right. We'll talk to you later.
Speaking of like half streaker, half crackhead.
Yeah, right. Honestly. And he's named after the Devils.
Yeah, really. He poops all over the place.
He is. Honestly, he was the mascot for this episode, so he deserved a little cameo.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, maybe throw a little photo of him in the description. He's also 15 years old, so
he's trucking.
And he looks like he's still like 7, so he's good, except for the hind legs. But that's the thing about German Shepherds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. It's like, and it's not just me. You talk to any dude in the world, and they'll be like, yeah. I mean, like, it's a universal rule that you're not going to pee next to somebody in the urinal. So,
but, like, that's, like, a thing only for, like...
younger generation.
Yeah. Like, that is... if I'm peeing in a bathroom, there's 2 urinals, and, like, someone's peeing there... No, if someone's peeing already, I'm not taking that step up. And that's respected. That guy understands why I'm not doing it. And I understand why he understands why I'm not. I don't know what the hell I'm saying at this point. Besides the point, but like now, if I was peeing in the urinal, and I can't believe just how much of an aneurysm I just had,
dude. If you're peeing in the urinal and somebody comes up,
if an older guy comes in, he will step up next to you.
I know, it's annoying.
Yeah,
it's really fine. I change it. It's enforce 1 per urinal, like 1 every other urinal rule. That's what it's got.
Or just take out the
some
urinal
stalls.
Yeah, so if you're gonna have like 6, just take out 3, and then you have like the space of.
Just don't put it in the trough, honestly.
No.
Because then it gets clogged, and then you're just looking at like 100 gallons of New Jersey Devil fan piss.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing
we
that
actually
could happen.
calculated how much piss was in that trough
Yeah, we
that you were
did.
telling me about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went down to Tampa.
What did we say? It was like 80, 90 gallons? Like
No, it was only like 30 gallons. But there was
No,
like
wasn't
80. No, there was like 90. It was like 30 gallons, or like 27. But there was like 90 liters or something of pee. That's what it was. That's why it was so high. The trough is only about the size of the table. But when you go to a bar down south that's packed, and it's $1 beer night, people are gonna be just, seal's gonna be cracked like a motherfucker. Like that dam is gonna be flowing, and the trough, if one person just ends up dropping a cheeseburger down it, like bam, like just clogged, and it's not a good time. Can you shut up? Chimp, bro, do you see him? You can't see him, but he's literally just barking. He doesn't even see anything. He's literally just barking. Lastly, as a Devils... Oh, no, I forgot. Ruckus.
Ruckus, yes.
Yeah, I would bring back Ruckus. Ruckus was the band that played...
They played a bunch of cover songs.
Cover band that they probably found from, some, dive bar in Central Jersey. And they're like, hey, you want to play Game 3 for the Devils? Yeah. So...
Yeah, we would very much like to play Game 3.
They were solid. I honestly think it was a really good idea because Devil fans love singing, just a bunch of 2000 white shit.
White shit. Oh
what's
my God,
the one song?
The My Own Worst Enemy by Lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Please tell me why. It's so funny, regardless. Even the fact that they're operating at 20%, I still hear the Devils fans
singing after the song stops. Yeah, and then another one that people sing is the "Take on Me."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they did that more, honestly, that's great. That really gets the crowd motivated to cheer more. And I've realized every single time, it continues for at least 10 seconds. And the crowd is always more lively.
Score after, short, not immediately, but at least the energy's there for the team too.
It really is. It really, really is. Oh, and the last thing I would have done as a Devils owner was probably just bring back Zach Parise just to fucking bring him to the guillotine.
Just sign him to kill him?
Yeah. That's about it. I mean, he ruined the Devils for my childhood and me growing up. So I feel like the fair thing would be to, host a public execution at Prudential Center. Center ice, sell out tickets.
Oh, sorry. Devils fans. I don't know why I just thought of this because I was thinking about the concessions and shit. But, biggest, best food deal. It's a hidden gem, honestly. Especially if you're sitting up top. Not up top, but, if you're not in the lower bowl. If you're in the middle or top bowl. There's a nacho stand. And
loaded nachos or jumbo nachos?
They're I have no clue what they're called.
I can't remember the name.
We just kept calling them mega nachos.
Mega nachos. Maybe they were mega nachos.
I don't think they were called that. But there's a nacho stand there. And you get this huge thing of nachos, and Derek and I would share them, and honestly, we'd be pretty satisfied.
Yeah,
And
I think it was $9.
Yeah, it's 9. It was 9 or 11, something like that. But still, that's still a pretty good price when you're paying $20 for a brisket sandwich. That was
yeah, especially considering that you can share with 2 people and it's more than enough. Me, I'm not the biggest nacho guy.
Neither am I. But it was good.
It was solid.
It was beans and beef and cheese and onion and peppers and stuff. It was packed. It was a solid thing of freaking nachos. There's no question. That's a hidden gem. A hidden stadium gem right there.
Yeah, I wish I had better deals like that too. Nachos are really good. The first 10 bites you get, but then once they start getting cold and you start just eating regular chips, it's you got to pound them fast. That's really the thing about nachos. I'm more of a chicken nacho guy. Instead of the beef, maybe pulled chicken. That could really work well.
Dude, honestly, I'd love to see a halal food in a stadium.
They have halal food outside Newark.
No, yeah, no, I know. Yeah, but are there gyros at Prudential? Some Greek food, some halal food, anything like that. That'd be cool. Instead of just paying $20 for 6 chicken tenders.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would work at at a hockey game, though. I feel like not a lot of people would be willing to try, like, halal food or, like...
We're cultured. Hockey's a little too white, to be honest.
Yeah.
I get it. It's
But you know what? It may not even be the case, and we may just, be, like, thinking that's the case just because, everybody's just super white. But, honestly, super white people are also very, very diverse. So, that's really how it always is.
Alrighty. Do you want to move on to this Jake Poop fight?
Did you want to do that, or did you want to do the Elite Four real quick?
I think we should end it with that.
Yeah, all right.
We can end it with that. Let's go into Jake Paul. So we're gonna actually call my one friend, who is a guru when it comes to fights, and his name is Gian. He's in my fraternity at Rutgers, and he's a good guy. So we're gonna have him.
For those that didn't watch the fight, it was between YouTuber star Jake Paul and Ben Askren, who's ex-UFC fighter, ex-two-time national champion wrestler, what else? Olympian.
Yeah, the guy's not a boxer, is what it boils down to.
Hello.
Hey, Gian, it's Tyler and Derek. We're here. We're talking about the fights now on the podcast.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, so first things first, everyone's thinking about this, but you think it was a dive too, right?
No, I don't.
You don't think that Ben Askren took a dive?
No, absolutely not.
Really? I'd like to hear this.
I think that anybody who's ever been punched in the face before knows that that was a clean right hand to a spot that could shut anyone's lights out easily. I don't know if you guys have seen the other angle, but he clearly connects and he goes stiff as a board. Stiff, and his head hits the canvas. There's no way it was a dive. There's no way.
All right, even if it wasn't a dive, though, but don't you think it was a premature stoppage? He seemed like he was all right when he got up.
I don't think it was a premature stoppage, actually.
When he got up, he literally stepped back, hit up against the ropes, and kept walking forward. That's what he was doing. He was not listening to the ref at all. That was if they wouldn't have stopped the fight there, he would have legitimately got Nate Robinson and probably died.
That would have been a good time to see.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I was probably just too shocked from like what actually happened to like really take into account everything. I didn't really watch the replay too many times because I was just so mind blown at what happened. But like you look at him get absolutely demolished by Lawler. Like I'm talking like sledgehammers to the face. And
okay, but I agree. But you also have to think about it this way, right? He's older now. He was a month off of hip surgery when he started training, okay?
Yeah.
And after you eat those shots from Robbie Lawler, you get your lights put out by Jorge Masvidal instantly. Your chin's not going to hold up when you hit a certain age, especially when it's strictly boxing and it's just constant shots to the head and he can't wrestle.
True, yeah, no, he can't wrestle at all.
Different.
Brain cells were gone already.
Yeah, I'm sure that
lost them all on the knee.
Yeah, they were all stuck on Masvidal's knee. But
yeah, pretty much.
What did you think pre-fight, like leading up to this? Like I remember you were telling me the other day about how you pictured the fight going beforehand. Like you can talk about. Yeah, go ahead.
So my gut told me when the fight was first announced, I told everyone to put their house, their mother, and their car on Jake Paul. Because if anybody's like, I've been following MMA for a really long time, and I've seen Ben Askren fight in Bellator, like live, and all this other stuff. The man cannot box. He has no striking game at all. He used his striking to set up his takedowns and just beat people up and submit people on the ground, right?
Yeah.
He went to train with Freddie Roach for a week, and then I saw his open workout, and then I said, oh, okay, like, it looks like he's throwing pretty well. I didn't think he was going to win, but I did say that if it went anywhere past the third or fourth round, that he could win by decision. But it was either he was winning by decision or Jake was knocking him out. It was either one.
No, and I agreed with you when you told me that, too. I still believe that if it went past, like, the third or fourth round, that he would have won by decision as well. But, it just was... He was a little too happy to lose, but at the same time, he did make bank.
Well, he made $1 million just to get in the ring and get knocked out. I mean, why? That's just his personality, though. Like, if you watch all the podcasts that he's on, like, he's never upset. He's a very good loser. Even after he got his lights cleaned out by Masvidal, it didn't really matter to him. So it's that's just who he is.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Any fights coming up soon that you'd like to talk about that you know of?
I mean, the big one is Usman Masvidal, the rematch. You know, Masvidal has a full camp this time. He gave him a great fight the first time around. Even though it was literally, I think he jumped on the card within a week. Masvidal did. So now he's got a full camp, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he performs and what he does. I think he could win the fight. I genuinely think out of anybody in that division, I think he can beat Usman.
Me too, and it was like unfortunate to see like Usman just do that toe stomp in the clinch the entire time. It's a frustrating fight to watch. Not that it's not legal, and not that it's not a good thing to do. It's just a little disappointing to watch a fight go that way because it's frustrating. Not like I said, it's not that it's illegal. It's just annoying to watch.
Yeah, it's frustrating for the viewer, definitely. But that's how Usman fights. Usman is not untouchable. He gets clipped.
Yeah.
Like if you're throwing a 1-2 at him, he's going to get clipped, and it's just a matter of time before he goes down. So, who knows? Who knows what could happen with this one? It's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's going to be a good fight to watch, and I really, really am excited to watch it because I think Masvidal definitely has a much better chance this time. Not that he didn't have a chance last time, but the circumstances.
No, he's got a full camp. He's got a full camp this time. He's not coming in on a week's notice, just making weight. But he on his end though, if he loses, he has no excuse.
This is true.
His last excuse was he had a week, and this time, he's got a full camp and no excuses.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, Derek?
No, just going back to like the whole entire how people wanted to watch the last Masvidal fight was lame because everybody was like, oh, he's stomping on feet, but I'm gonna say that I was upset too. I was like, oh, that's so annoying because I was rooting for Masvidal, but a lot of UFC casuals myself, and I would say 95% of the UFC fan base is really just there for watching contact and actual fighting and not actual ground and pound and wrestling and all that stuff.
People don't appreciate the true mechanics to the game,
exactly.
But yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would definitely say casuals definitely don't appreciate that, but you could even look back to the McGregor fight, his recent fight against Poirier. I guarantee you 90% of the casuals didn't realize the damage that half kick was doing.
Oh my God.
The announcer said something.
Every single time.
Every casual I was watching with, they were like, oh, that's not doing anything. I was like, that is going to literally destabilize him if he does not stop, if he does not block those kicks. And he didn't, and he got beat.
Yeah, we were saying that. We were saying that we were just noticing, we're like, why the hell is he not trying to block those leg kicks at all? We thought it was insanity because obviously, when you get knocked out, you get hit in the face and your legs just they buckle, they go weak. So if your legs are getting weakened like that, one good shot to the face that might not put you down will definitely put you down.
Bullshit.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And it's different from boxing because UFC, obviously, I'm sure everybody knows, once you're down on the ground, that guy's coming in and he's punching you in the face,
Yeah, they don't stop until the ref pulls them off, and that's why I find this whole, I'm not even calling it a YouTube boxing thing anymore. Because I truly believe that Jake has shown that he has skills, but if they put anybody MMA guy in the ring with him right now, that's like a Ben Askren, they want to put. I don't know if you guys know who Dylan Dennis is.
Yeah, McGregor's.
They want him to fight him next. Mm-hmm. Dylan's getting destroyed. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Really, he's just a younger version of Ben Askren. He's just younger, more athletic, but
has a hot girlfriend.
Yeah.
They broke up actually.
Thank the Lord, bro. He was ugly as shit.
But he'll get destroyed. But what I would like to see next out of Jake is if you're gonna continue this trend with fighting MMA guys, you got to fight a guy like Tyron Woodley. Somebody that's could definitely make your weight because Ben Askren fought at 170 and you weighed in at 190. Woodley walks around at 195, 200.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's actually has hands. He's young. He's a former UFC champion. So that would be something that I think everybody would want to see.
Yeah, I mean, Jake's not going to get the credit until he does, until he keeps silencing doubters. Not that I'm saying that he's, the greatest boxer in the world, but, he's shown that he can win. People are still skeptical. So, who knows? Maybe next time, like if he does get a notable opponent and he wins, then I feel like people just can't talk anymore. They just got to accept it.
And you know what? They have every right to be, because realistically, I called he was going to win. I'm saying he has skills, but you have to look at this objectively. Who has he beat?
No, exactly.
A basketball player, a YouTube guy, and then a 40-year-old gym teacher. Like that's what it's down to. I mean, the 40-year-old gym teacher had accolades, but they weren't striking accolades.
Yeah.
So it'll be different when he fights somebody that is, actually up to par with what people want to see. But also, people need to remember that this is entertainment at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kid brought in $65 million in revenue. Like, obviously, he's doing something right. So
yeah. Well, John, I want to say thank you for calling in. Really appreciate your time and your input. I know how knowledgeable you are when it comes to fights like this. So yeah, once again, thank you. Awesome.
Thank you,
awesome stuff.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, have a good one, kid.
Bye.
All right.
Quite the knowledgeable man. Obviously not a UFC casual in the slightest bit.
No, he's a UFC expert.
Yeah,
he watches.
Yeah, I got the sense when, he started talking about camps and stuff, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, anyone who calls training camp is,
just camps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, it was funny because going into the fight, I was like...
Well, I saw the line, and I thought Ben Askren plus 150 was stealing money.
I didn't think it was stealing. I was very surprised to see that Jake Paul was favored, especially by that much, almost at 200.
But then, like we said, though, Vegas knows everything that we don't. Like, Las Vegas knew that putting Ben Askren at such an underdog spot was just going to grab everyone's eyes. You know how many people probably put a ton of money on Ben Askren because of that?
Yeah, I don't think they just did it only because, they knew that they were going to get money, but I think they did it because that was the truth, I feel like they don't really come out with lines just hoping that people are going to just fuck up and, put money down on
of course. Well, obviously, they don't want to give such a horrible line to where, if something does happen, Ben Askren wins that fight and then they lose so much more money.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I think they just have algorithms that has it work, but... I was surprised, and I was like, what the hell? I know Ben Askren, he has to be a wrestler, because when he was in UFC. So, I went, watched, highlights and, videos on him, and I was like, all right, this guy's a boxer.
I didn't realize until, last week that he was the one that Masvidal murdered.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that it was Ben Askren.
Yeah, because he was, the next big thing, Sean O'Malley, type, this guy's big.
And then Masvidal killed him, and, he was just like...
former... Well, he shouldn't even have won the one fight against Robbie Lawler. He shouldn't even have won that one. It was, a controversial stoppage. But, when I thought he was going to win, I was like, because one guy made a really good point. He was like, this guy's an athlete. He's an Olympian. He's a 2-time NCAA champ. This guy's, if he gets in the ring and, he hangs around for a while, it'll just, he'll wear him down, and it's going to just over time. And I just was having flashbacks to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, how, Fury just dropped his fucking fat tire on him and just wore him down.
That would have been that. If he would have gotten a little inside game on Jake Paul, he probably could have.
I know, and then I saw Ben Askren's tire. I'm like, yo, this is just going to be the same thing over again. But this guy's also athletic, and he's fighting a YouTuber.
Yeah.
But does that still go? Yeah, it's still going. It just says low battery. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was just like, you know what? I think Ben Askren's going to win. And then going into the fight, and when he got knocked down, you know what? It raised my eye that, everybody's going to be like, oh, rig this, rig that. He flopped. And I thought it was crazy that, he could withstand those punches in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting pounded. It wasn't even just, getting punched, here and there. He was, just strike after strike to his face. His head was bouncing off the canvas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when I watched it live time, not a thought in my mind was this guy just threw though. Yeah. What John said, his body went limp, full on limp, and then people were freaking out that they stopped it early. He was wobbling all over the place.
Yep.
You can be a good actor, but this guy's also he's not obviously an actor. He's a fucking wrestler. So sorry, Grandma, I'm starting to come alive. We're getting UFC violence wise.
We're getting this counter is up. We're counting them.
Yeah, but I I didn't think for a second. I know a lot of people said that. I honestly thought that Nate Robinson threw the first time, and then I watched the highlight, and I was like, oh wait, he just got absolutely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake Paul's an athlete, and as much as people hate him, I think his brother, Logan's an athlete too. So I don't know. I think the kid's a pretty solid boxer, and I don't think he threw it. I don't think Ben Askren threw it. I think he just was fat, out of shape, and just not a good boxer to begin with. So
yeah, it happens.
It does happen, and you always root for the fat guy. You really always do, except when they're not American.
Yeah.
Like I didn't root for Tyson Fury, and I was very upset that Deontay Wilder lost.
Well, he's fighting Anthony Joshua again.
Well, he's fighting Wilder first.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Joshua's a bitch. Sorry, Josh, if you ever listen to this. Not Anthony Joshua, Joshy Gooner.
Josh the Gooner.
I know he loves his British boys. And Anthony Joshua sucks. Like, bro's overrated. Bro runs. Gets knocked out by whatever his name is. What is his name? Andy Ruiz? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See? Peak male body. Like,
if you don't like it, you can get out.
Exactly. And,
I say we bring it to the next thing, just to keep this on the better half of 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to get to, we like doing the Elite Four, Pokemon, not Pokemon rankings, but
yes.
From Pokemon,
mm-hmm.
And throw in a different category each time. And to stay on the track of honestly, when I was writing out the whole entire script and notes, I was just depressed because I watched it after the Devils came back and then lost. It was top 4 worst seasons that come to mind for any of your teams.
Would you say worse or painful? Because there's a difference.
Whatever you consider worse.
Okay, I'll go my number 1, and it's not even remotely close.
You can start 4, or do you want to go 1?
No, I'm going right to 1. Because it's just the first one that popped into my mind. The Mets when they lost the World Series.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
nothing hurt more than that. To see them just have the season that they did, finally win a division, go in, have a absolute slugfest against the Dodgers, sweep the Cubs, and then you're just we have to win this World Series. And then it just, complete implosion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, championships are tough to lose. I've only watched, the Devils lose in 2012 that I actually, remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to put that on there because that was my favorite, season ever watching sports, and I was 12 years old at the time. But I guess I'll go number 1, too, honestly. Yeah. 2014, 2015 Dallas Cowboys, no doubt in my mind. Des Bryant catch year. That's most painful because... people make the argument oh, Aaron Rodgers had 4 minutes left, but Dez wasn't in the end zone yet. So, one DeMarco Murray run, 2 DeMarco Murray run, clock's already down 2 minutes. And they didn't have a great defense, but regardless of the point for refs, to take a game from you, it really does hurt. So.
Yeah. Also, another thing, when I think about that whole, damn, I lost my thought. It completely eludes me.
Well, if you want to go to 2.
I'll go to, I don't know if I'm
second
going to
most
2.
painful, or you want to go up to 4?
I think I'm going to go to 4,
yeah.
And only because I can't really think of too many seasons, and I think that this is definitely a good number 4. I'm going to say last Giants season.
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because, everyone sucked, but just that glimmer of hope that we could make the playoffs, and, it was a painful season to watch, and the fact that we still almost had a chance to make the playoffs, sucked.
Mm.
For that reason that, we sucked,
mm-hmm.
and we still could have made the playoffs, and then just to have the Eagles, pretty much throw the game. It was brutal.
Yeah.
They benched, you can't say they didn't throw it. I mean, they benched Jalen.
Yeah.
They benched him. They had no intention on winning that game.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, but then you can make... I know.
You make the argument, we'll win more freaking games. But, at that very moment, there was nothing more than the Eagles just winning that game. That was the only thing that could have sent the Giants to the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm just going to go 2 because it's on the top of my mind. the team that breaks my heart more than the world, we'll bring them up again, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah. Podcast doesn't know. I mean, probably the people that listen to it definitely know that I'm a Cowboys fan, but for people that, may not be too familiar with me, diehard Cowboys fan, unfortunately. And second heartbreaking season was 13-3 year, Dak's rookie year, and Mason Crosby hits a, nice 50, I think it was a 51-yard bomb and then a 55-yard field goal bomb.
Whose rookie year?
Dak's rookie year.
Oh, I thought you said Dez for a second.
No.
Yes, no, I remember that.
Yeah, that one was tough. Yeah, and then Tony retired. That was a tough year.
That was the year that the Giants made the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
That'll be my number 3.
That was a very tough year. That was a tough one. I cried. I cried big time. I don't really know what else there was to say. That was just like I knew that they weren't going to win because the stats here, like rookie quarterbacks never gone to a Super Bowl. Rookie quarterbacks never made it to the conference finals or whatever it was. I kind of had the feeling because I just didn't really trust Dak to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I knew but the fact that you're down 28-13 in a divisional in a playoff game and you come all the way back, and then to lose, it just rips your heart out, man.
I might put that same Giants season at 2 or 3. I don't know which one to put it because I was just so hyped going into the playoffs. I was like, wow, like we actually we have a great defense, and then just Aaron Rodgers just stomped us out.
Aaron Rodgers does it to the Cowboys all the
time. He went through us and then went through you. So yeah. Who did they play in the championship that year?
Atlanta.
Yeah,
they lost.
Yeah. Yeah. That was devastating as well. I think what put the cherry on top for that whole game was Paul Perkins picking up the ball between his legs and getting absolutely railed by fucking Clay Matthews.
I thought you were gonna bring up the Miami photo, but
nah, whatever. I think the Miami photo's a crock of shit.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
But
I mean, I would be pissed if my players did that. Like
Mm-hmm.
if my players, but like
no, I know what you mean.
The wide receivers for the Cowboys did that. I would be like, why are you doing that? Like you have a playoff game to play. But like anybody that calls it more how it is. I mean, Odell did have like 4 drops that game. I think it was.
Oh yeah,
something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm. It did. But yeah, Paul Perkins went to go pick up the ball between his legs and he got tacked by. It was on the ground and he didn't know it was a fumble, and he went to go pick it up just like this. And
Clay Matthews hit him, right?
Yes, Clay Matthews decked him, and then it was a fumble, and I was just like, "This game is over, man." It was over, but then I was just like, I was so upset.
Serves him right. He sucked on fantasy that year. He was supposed to be the starting running back. Or maybe it's the year after. Third most heartbreaking season. Surprisingly, we're not. I'm not doing Cowboys, and I'm not doing Devils. I'm doing the Yankees in 2019 when they lost to the Astros.
Yeah. Was that the one where I watched with
That
you?
was the one where you watched with me.
I was heartbroken, and I don't even care about the Yankees. Like that was hard to watch you go through that.
Yeah, that was like I said, I got into baseball late, so the year that the Yankees made the first ALCS, like I followed them on ESPN. I'd watch a game here and there. But it wasn't really until the playoffs where I started to become big. And then, like, after that, I was a diehard fan. So, 2018, I watched them. They sucked. That 2019 season, watched them all the way through, for them to beat up on the Twins, sweep them. You're like, all right, nice. We get to get revenge on the Astros again. Have a nice game 1. Bam. Start off 1-0. This is a new series. And then they just folded. The bats just died. And that game set. I went to that game 5, and there was one of my favorite games that I've ever been at in my entire life. Just for that game 6 to go down, and for the Yankees, like I've said, that DJ LeMahieu home run in the 9th. I've never been at a higher high in my life, and I've never dropped to a lower low in my life that quickly.
That was just okay. We're both really superstitious guys. Like, there's no question. Like, super superstitious guys. Not even a little stitious. And Derek had Uptown Vibes on repeat. I must have. I think
it was 17 times.
I have never listened to that song again.
I can't. I change it every time.
I've never listened to that song again since that night. He's like, they're doing good when the song's playing.
They did.
And they did. They wound up doing good. And yeah, then when Altuve hit that freaking
Fucking cheaters.
yeah, they cheated. He knew that pitch was coming too.
Sitting on a slider.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one was tough. I tried to.
Derek went nuts when Wagon Man hit that ding dong.
I lost my mind. That was like one of my favorite things I've ever watched in my entire life.
I got so hyped too. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I hugged you so hard. I was like, running
cool.
around my house. Yeah. And then I had no words. The only thing I said to Tyler was like, I think I said that like, I'll see you tomorrow or something, like right after he left. I just broke down crying. I lost my mind. It was like one of those times where like little kids just can't even breathe. Like that's how bad it was, bro. It was so bad. It was bad.
Man. Yeah, I can't tell you another bad season. I would say the last Devil season. Not last, but the one before it. When we were like,
oh yeah,
well, we're gonna be good. Oh no, last Devil season.
Oh my.
Yeah, we were like, we're gonna be so freaking good. We go up 4-0 against freaking Winnipeg, and we blew it. And I'm like, all right, whatever, fluke game. And then we did it again, and we did like fucking 5 more times that season. It was so bad. That was a heartbreaking season because the expectations were like tremendous.
Yeah, I changed it. That's at 2. That one the off-season hype and
PK,
the one
Nikita
game,
Gusev.
and the one game is literally responsible for that whole entire season being dog shit. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah, if they won that game, I think they would have made playoffs. Like that first game of the season. I don't know why, but that's just set the tone.
Not even kidding you. That's number 2 for me. I didn't cry after those games, but those by far, that was arguably the most. That I lied. I don't know. I don't lie. I don't know. I got to tie that with the DJ LeMahieu. That game was better. If they won that game, that probably would have been, and they went on to go to the playoffs. I would have liked that game more than the playoff game.
You think so?
Because
that 4-0 like just dub like
because all the hype that went in, and then just for them to just pound the Jets. And to make the playoffs, it's like, it's over. You know, it's over. They're out. They're done. They still have Taylor Hall on the team. Like,
yeah, we honestly, if we went to the playoffs, I would say that it's safe that we probably, like, if we stayed on that consistent, that Taylor Hall might still be on the Devils.
The rebuild is over. Like, it's over. And it's not.
And then it's just about adding polished pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The rebuild was over after that. But, you know, yeah, that was a tough one. Oh, shit. That was bad. And then I took the, if they won, I was going to take the train home to Jersey, and I was like, I am so depressed. I don't feel like taking a train ride all the way back in a few days. I took the Philly one home. I got home at like 2 in the morning. I ended up, like, somebody died on the fucking train. So I
died?
I don't know, they had a heart attack or something.
This is news to me.
Yeah, what? That was when I called you. That was when I called you to tell you that we won the dentist scam. Because I'm literally sitting on the train for like an hour, and the ambulance had to come on and everything, and I almost missed my actually train back to Philadelphia. It could have been bad. But yeah, because I was dying of thirst, and they gave us Pepsis, and that was the first time I had soda in a million years.
Give you Pepsis where?
At the Devils game. They had the Devils Pepsis.
Oh,
and they gave me one, and I was like, I don't want to drink it. I really don't want to. And I drank a sip, and I was like, this is disgusting.
Wasn't it diet too? Wasn't it like a diet Pepsi? Like,
I don't know. I just don't know how fat
shit.
Southerners do it.
Yeah.
All obese.
Well, to start high, then go low, then to come back high and really go low. Successful day. I feel like we got into a lot what we needed to talk about. You know, really, some good stuff. I feel next week we're gonna come to you after the draft.
What day's the draft? The 27th? What's today?
Today's the 19th.
We'll probably be back before the draft.
We might be back. We might give you a pre-draft and honestly
definitely pre-draft.
We might be able to. We'll give you a pre-draft and then maybe we'll live stream the draft.
That would be cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll live stream the draft on Twitch. We can get that video up on YouTube afterwards. But yeah.
Yeah. What are we at? 145. Yeah. I don't. Just real quick, like super duper quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say bets, but I don't really have a bet. That would work. Actually, I do have a bet.
I don't know.
Devils money line Tuesday
Against who?
the Flyers. Actually, Devils money line Tuesday or Thursday, depending on when Jesper Bratt and Pavel Zacha are back. When they're both back, they win. I
Agreed.
guarantee they win. I'm not saying that they don't win the one game where only one of them's back, because Pavel's going to get back before him, I think, if they don't come back at the same time. So.
And then my bet would be plus 1.5. Because I don't bet on my favorite team's money line, but I will take a spread on my favorite team.
I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm just saying for those that want easy money.
I think that's definitely, if you're feeling a little riskier, that's good. I would say plus 1.5 goals is the safer one. I think they definitely could cover. For sure.
I think they get the job done. I think that they're pissed, and I think that they go out and, that or they're just going to look even worse than before. So it's more of me kind of praying that there's some progress rather than just more depression. So yeah. Other than that, I think that really wraps us up on this fine Monday afternoon around 6:00.
All right, guys, leave us the fuck alone so we can start editing. Okay? No, I'm kidding. I love you guys. We'll see you next week. We're gonna get to you with some pre-draft stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to live stream the draft and give you live reactions and
Yeah, get ready, everybody. We're gonna bring you some nice Jets, Giants. Look ahead to the draft. Who's picking who, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be accurate. So
accurate. Actually, I'll never give you an accurate pick for the Giants. That never happens.
We're releasing the draft early. Not telling anybody. We have insider sources. So
except for the Giants.
I think that wraps us up, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to us, and hope you'll be back next week when, that's about it. Let's go.
That's good.
Well, somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in 5 years.